we just experienced was paranormal.
Did we tap into a different realm?
I summoned something.
You
Okay.
know that thing like the James
What did
Randi?
What did it sound like?
He's the one. He's the only Josh Server, everybody. Golf claps. Golf claps. How's it going?
Hey guys.
Hi. We're just gonna do this this is the whole stream, just different variations.
And then we just get different. We get to get like in rhythm and motion. I love it. Yeah, different iterations of the golf club.
Yes. How are you doing, Josh?
Doing awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to chat with you guys.
Yes, we're so excited to have you here. Danica and I, we are Nick kids through and through. This is very exciting. We've been counting down the days. We are here. It is happening. So let's just start from the top. Do you recall your audition process for all that?
Yes, I do. And it was, we've been asked, I feel like we get asked these questions, like as far as like the audition, but I remember it was like it was intense for all that. Now, fun fact, I actually had done a pilot for Nickelodeon that never got made. So Nickelodeon and I kind of had a relationship. It was a pilot called Scooter. It was about a boy in space. So basically it was like very meta. It was about a kid who played a kid on a TV show, right? And it was like more, as opposed to like all that, which was sketch and really heightened. It was more like, it was a comedy, but it was more of a, like, I'm gonna say grounded because it was Nickelodeon, but it was a lot of fun. So I had already shot something with them that didn't get made. And so I remember like at the time I was living back in Chicago, we had moved back to Chicago, and my agent reached out, and the Nickelodeon kind of asked me specifically to do this round of auditions. And they didn't really know much about the show. It was like, apparently they were framing it like it was like a sketch comedy show, kids SNL, right? Mm-hmm. And then they asked us to do our own material, which is just really, really rare. When you're a kid to do your own stuff. Now they did have us do monologues and like things that were pre-written because the writers were so funny and talented on our show, right? But so I remember going in and doing some of the monologues and things that they had set, but I also had to like prep my own routine. So yeah. And so I remember I ended up doing the way I kind of set it up was I was in my like, what was I, like junior high at that age? So it was like in my junior high math class, and I had this really like very like New York, she was, I think I wonder if she's still around teaching. Her name is Mrs. Merbaum. Is that right? Mrs. Merbaum. And so shout out to Mrs. Merbaum. So
long time watcher. Yeah.
Yeah. First time caller, long time watcher. So I did like her New York accent, and then she would call on people in my class. And so I did different impressions. I don't remember the different impressions I did, and I don't remember the different characters, but I remember there were like 6 or 7 kids or impressions that she would call on. And that was like my bit. That was my routine.
Cool.
So when you actually were going through the audition process, like you mentioned, you were living in Chicago at the time. Did they?
Yeah, that's originally where we're from.
Awesome. So
yeah,
did they bring you down to Orlando? Because I remember there was like the casting area. Like it was like a trailer, but I don't know if it was the same for like all that or anything.
Are you saying at Nick Studios in Orlando?
It was kind of by Nick Studios. I remember. Yeah-ish. Yeah,
most of their stuff was on the Universal lot. I don't remember if they had a separate casting thing. It was a long time.
Sure.
It was a long time ago. But we did, to kind of go back to your other question, we did multiple rounds, multiple callbacks. I ended up seeing Kel at the audition. Which was wild because we were the 2 that got picked, and like our moms knew each other, and we would audition occasionally together. So we didn't know each other, but like, just in passing and doing auditions and acting. And then they did, technically before we went to Orlando, they brought all the once we actually had booked it, they brought the original 7 kids out to LA. And that was the first time we all met.
So you're making towns. You're in junior high from Chicago to LA to Orlando. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then we ended up shooting the pilot in Orlando and the first 2 seasons in Orlando before the show moved back out to LA. So it was a lot of like you said, there was a couple of loops.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the next big question is, was there ever a character that you wanted to do that never made it to air?
No, I got every single character I wanted to on air. No, I don't remember. I do remember. I don't remember if there was a specific character, but what we used to do all the time was, maybe not right away at the first. I feel like the first season, everyone was just kind of like feeling it out. We were finding our own comic kind of sensibilities because we were kids, like figuring out what was funny to us. But I will tell you that we just continued to try to push the envelope more and more and more. And so then it became about getting our jokes in the show, right? Like a little like SNL, right? Where we weren't writing for ourselves, but we would come up with rehearsals and things in rehearsal. And then we would do 3 days of rehearsal and a producer run through every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And at the run through, you would try to get your jokes in the show.
Nice.
And then the producers would be like, oh, keep that, or, pull you back a little bit. And I remember I got pulled back a lot. So I don't know if it was like a specific character, but they're like, Josh, you can't say that.
I'm sorry, that's too funny. You're going to have to reel it in.
Yeah. Or maybe it was like Nickelodeon standard and practices.
Well, I was going to say, no, it's better
They're
to
like,
be
no,
reeled in.
hard no.
Right, but it's better to be told tone it down than have to be like, oh, we need more, right?
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
you gave them all you had.
Yeah, especially for that show, right, guys? It's like it's louder, faster, funnier.
So good.
Yeah.
It still holds up. Like, I believe it's back on Netflix now. And my husband and I went back recently to rewatch a couple of the episodes. It's still just as great as I remember from.
We were so excited when it dropped on Netflix. That's cool. I mean, I think it was already on Paramount. I've heard Paramount Plus. But the fact that it's on Netflix and that accessible. So thank you for going back and watching. Did it held up?
Oh, it for sure holds up. But there's also like this good feeling of just the most wonderful nostalgia and those times in my life being so good and getting to like almost relive it. I love it. I love it so much.
It pushed those nostalgia buttons for you. Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome. Well, again, I mean, the people that, it's 25 years since Goodburger. It's like even longer for all that. So I know. You both went like this. You like reeled back into the camera.
One of my pearls. God.
Let me get my readers on just to make sure that's. Is that right? Is that right? Is it 26 or 27 or what? It was 94. It was 94. But the fact that like people still really love it and it still, matters to people that much. It means a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to the rest of the cast and stuff.
Well,
and
I think a lot of what makes us so shocked is that you must have been stuck in some time loop where you haven't aged a minute. You were exactly the same. So it's like.
You're very nice. You're very nice. I don't feel that way. I don't know. I don't feel that way. I went out with Keenan last night to celebrate the Emmys stuff. And trust me, I don't feel that way. I feel very tired.
Fair enough.
I feel very tired.
We are all collectively very exhausted. I get it. So you mentioned that you filmed the first 2 seasons at Nickelodeon Studios, and it's the one thing if I'm mad at the world about, it's that they got rid of Nickelodeon Studios because
I feel the same way. There was like petitions online, and it was a weird, cool, special place for like they carved out for kids, and I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, like was there anything in particular, maybe about filming or about Nick Studios in general, that you miss most? Okay, so there was. Did you go? You betcha.
Okay. So Danica, how about you? Did you get to go? And she was like, no, I did not. So there was this thing at Nickelodeon Studios. For those who don't know. It was all about the park and they walk you through all the attractions and all that stuff. But it was in Universal. But there was also this like tour, right, that went through. And it was the easiest way to describe it was like you guys were encased in glass. They would take the people through the tour so you could see the makeup room. And it was like being in a zoo, right? Where we were on display and you guys were the zoo patrons, and you would just, it was glass. It was the weirdest thing ever, but also really cool. So they took you through the makeup room, the wardrobe room, right? And I remember you were very aware of it at the beginning when you first started filming, but eventually you'd been there for 6 months and you just forget that they were there. And so there were only parts of the tour. This is fun. There was only parts of the tour where you could listen. A lot of times it was just where people could see in, right? And was glass. But in the makeup room, you'd be like, it would be a really long day, and and then you just turn and there would just be a kid like, yeah, that was you. You were that kid. Almost like to the point where you would tap on the glass and you'd be like, and it would wake you up to the fact that you were being watched, more so than you were aware of you were being watched. It was bizarre. And then I will say there was this top part of the tour where they would take you and you could see down into the sound stages, and they ran audio. Fun fact, all that was the reason they stopped running audio.
Oh no.
Because there were 7 of us, teenagers. We were telling jokes, trying to make each other laugh, brother, sister, hurting people's feelings left and right. And I will say that that's the reason they stopped running audio during that tour. Yeah. It was, the kids were like, it's maybe too much for Billy's trip to Nickelodeon with the fam. Their dream vacation to Orlando is
get over it.
Is ruined by our audio feed into the stage.
Well, I remember from the tour, there was one part where they would let you try the slime, and it was so good.
Yeah,
like, slime is delicious.
Yeah.
It's one was like applesauce and one was like a fruit punch flavored thing. Just
the fan favorite question is what is slime? What is it made of? It was different versions of pudding and slime and applesauce and green dye or yellow, and it was all edible. And some were quite delicious and part of a balanced nutritional plan.
Of course. Thanks, Nickelodeon. Yeah. And I remember like towards the end.
Are you not getting your vitamins and minerals? Yeah, it's more slime.
Try slime.
Yeah.
I remember towards the end of Nickelodeon Studios when they had Slime Time Live, and I got to go for that, and they were just they were sliming kids left and right, and then you just have to walk around all day slimy. I don't know.
Right, like that was a good idea. Or if you're gonna do your Slime Time Live, plan that for the end of the day, guys. But you were just slimy in the Florida heat the rest of the day. I was actually one of the only people that have the distinct pleasure of being strapped to that slime geyser. Do you remember the giant geyser? Yep. We were doing promos, and they're like, all right, Josh, we're gonna basically just strap you to the geyser and let it go off every 45 minutes. And I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
And I think I had like bronchitis that day. I probably wasn't happy that day. Yeah, I probably wasn't happy that day. But yeah, it's very the slime geyser is very triggering.
So, slime is nutritious, but unfortunately not medicinal. So sorry about that.
Touche.
Well, let's pivot away from that because that's gross.
It's good pivot.
So you appeared on Figure It Out and Double Dare, but is there
also very slimy?
Yes.
Yay. But is there a different Nick competition show you wish you could have been a part of?
Ooh. Okay, so there's a one intro. It's kind of a random intro. I think it was season 2, where it's funny, Kid Cadet. You were talking about the Kid Cadet. You were talking about the audition process. Well, they did like a mock audition process, and I got and it was like, oh, how did the kids and all that? The joke was we had to do all these rigorous things, and Katrina was pulling a truck, and it was just random jokes and bits. My bit was I had to run the aggro crag on Guts.
Oh wait, there you go.
What? That is, I don't think I've seen all that tattoos. I have seen all that tattoos. I have tattoos. I love tattoos. That is, I think that's the first Guts tattoo I've ever seen.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike O'Malley and Mo would be proud.
I hope so.
Proud.
I hope so. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I've ran the aggro crag during that bit.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it was like maybe a mock version of that, but like I ran it and they taped the whole thing and I kind of got up to the end and I was like, it was cool. So I guess I would just be continually on Guts.
Now, how do we get them to
Legends
bring
of the Hidden Temple was good too.
Ooh,
Oh,
wait.
oh yeah.
Where's I have so many like nostalgic things and I have like a mini Shrine of the Silver Monkey somewhere here. But okay, Josh, why couldn't the kids never figure it out? It was always so complicated. Was it the threat of the tree people or like what? What's
It was, I mean,
right?
figure it out was legitimately hard. I think Lori Beth was the one that actually tried because she just loved the thrill of that and like, in a joking way, crushing the kids' dreams by finding out what the actual hidden talent was. I think she was the only one that legitimately tried. We were just trying to be silly and make people laugh. There was an occasional time where I really wanted to try to figure it out and get it, but it was hard. Figure it out was hard.
I was talking about Legends of the Hidden Temple, but yes, but as far as figure it out, it was always such a weirdly worded thing where like, how were you going to figure that out? Like, it'd be like, what's the word was like either like extreme or freestyle. And you're like, why are you going to say that? That was a tough show, but it was very, y'all did.
A lot of the Nickelodeon game shows were tough. Yeah. Sorry. I've rejoined the podcast and now I'm back on the talk track of the actual, what we're talking about.
No.
Jeez.
That's
what are you new? What are you new?
But I think we need to bring back all the shows. I know that they brought back Legends, but let's bring them all back.
Yeah.
I need
like
to
do like a Shark Week, but Game Show Week at like just the entire. I don't know. I feel like we're in the mind melt here.
Okay, can we be a team, please?
Yeah,
the three of us. Okay, perfect, great.
Let's go pitch a bunch of retro game shows to Nickelodeon. We end the podcast and we start. we have a vision board now. Yeah.
This is us competing on Nick Arcade. Oh my god, I'm so in. I am so in. Okay. So
now wait, is it funnier if we actually do it with kids, right? Or do we do a bunch of the how old we are now, and now we're all struggling. And have do Guts, but have a lot of back pain afterwards, right?
Correct.
Like
we still have to compete against other children.
Oh, there we go. We need to have a really strong legal team.
Okay.
For all the people that would get hurt.
Easy. We'll make a couple calls. We can figure this out.
Oh, my knees.
It's not dynamic things anymore. It's just like changing channels on a television or texting the fastest. I don't know.
It'll be like my old Jewish family, right? Like, why is it so hard? Why is everything so hidden? Complaining about the shows the whole time.
Okay, your family's invited.
Furniture.
I don't understand why they're so well hidden. Where is this temple?
What your supply of icy hot? Yeah, that is the goal.
My temple's right down the street. It's super easy to find. Why is it so hidden?
This is perfect.
Google Maps took me in a weird way. It took me through the swamp. I don't know what's going on.
Done. It's happening. So
terrible directions to this hidden temple. I remember when you didn't need. I'm sorry. We're gonna spitball on this for a while.
Yep. I think now we're
gonna
have
riff.
to.
That's a good riff.
We're gonna have to have a pitch meeting now. So back in 1992, Nickelodeon put together a time capsule, which I guess they moved, when Universal Studios, that area went kaput, and then they moved it to California, and they're opening it in 2042.
42,
yeah, which is pretty crazy.
So that is 20 years from. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So the question is, if you were to put together a time capsule, let's say today, what would you put in a time capsule? And the follow-up question is, what are you hoping to see in the Nickelodeon time capsule when they open it?
I feel like this one's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
Very loaded question. A time capsule?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time on that and think about that.
More
So
time for the time capsule? You got
yeah,
it.
I need more time for the time capsule. My time capsule, oh man.
You can have a mulligan. That's fine too. I mean,
I'm gonna take a mulligan. I do have some really, really cool stuff in like storage, right? Like my Nickelodeon. I have my own Nickelodeon time capsule.
Oh.
And just like not stuff that you're gonna keep for everyday use, which is like, why do I need a Goodburger starter jacket? Right? A wrap gift. Yeah, no, you have it all in your office. I have a good starter Nickelodeon time capsule. I would say that.
I feel like Figure It Out always had the best prizes too that they would give away to the contestants. I just want everything. Like they had like boom boxes and phones and trips.
Oh yeah. Maybe so okay. I would need more time with my time capsule, but on the Nickelodeon I would go orange soda. Right? Like an old bottle of orange soda, and if it keeps, don't drink that 20 years later. It doesn't expire. What else would go in there? Maybe Danny Tamborelli's like the outfit that he wore, in Pete and Pete. Yeah, I would say some version of slime, right? Like that kind of.
Don't eat. Just throw that in there.
Correct. Just throw it in there. An orange blimp. Can you fit a snick couch in a time capsule? How large is the time capsule?
I mean, infinite size.
Stickly.
Yes. Oh my
God! I got
God.
a couple good ones, right? I'm all right. I've
so good.
I've redeemed myself on this really tough question.
Pendant of life.
Okay. And for the heck of it, Crystal Pepsi, because that is like a.
and for the parents, some Zima.
Zima.
Yeah.
Now I'm having a moment. There's YouTubers like I know you at first mentioned the orange soda, and I feel like there's YouTubers that still go back and somehow order these things and still drink them and enjoy. I'm like, why do we have to open them? Just leave them closed,
Kel's been saying that buzz line for, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like he goes to the drive-through and people and he hits him with him. He'll give it to him every single time. He's like, he'll deliver it. And it's the best. It really pulls those heartstrings for people,
I got to host a panel for him a couple of years back, and no joke, every single person that asked a question offered him an orange soda, like the orange soda guy, like my king.
Right.
They're like, it's just like the stage was just littered with orange soda.
I wonder if like Fanta, we need to get that guy an orange soda brand deal if he doesn't already have one. I'm sure they should have given him some money back in the day. I guarantee you they did, or they should have. They were single-handedly promoting a lot of orange soda. Right. Or maybe the screw in the tuna. He gets that one a lot too.
Say that one more time, Josh. The what?
The screw in the tuna, right? He gets that one a lot too.
Love it.
Or just Goodburger. Welcome to Goodburger. He has. I mean, Kel's got some of the most iconic lines or words that were ever said on Nickelodeon or around Nickelodeon. So he just, it's instant for people, and it takes them back to childhood. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I was telling my husband yesterday, I was like, I will never be able to think about even just the words Goodburger without hearing his voice. Mm-hmm. I will never be able to do anything but that. Like it just keeps ripping.
There's a lot of chatter about, I don't know, I don't have any real information, but there's a lot of chatter about doing another one. So we'll see.
Okay. We will take chatter.
A lot of chatter.
Love chatter.
No, nothing real yet, but I know they want to get it done. So we'll see. Yeah. Did you guys see Keenan and Kel at the Emmys? They reconnected at the Emmys last night.
That was so awesome. First of all, Keenan, love, obsessed, just so happy for him and all of his successes. And I need to go back and rewatch his the musical. What did he do? He did the intro songs from different television shows.
One of them was oh man, my brain just went dead.
I know there's
not
like a Game of
not
Thrones.
CSI, but the other one.
NCIS?
No, oh man, Law and Order.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
He crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, he was a good choice.
King of TV. He just nailed it, and all those years of Saturday Night Live prepped him for that moment. It was a big moment, and he just rocked it. So.
Danica?
Okay, so speaking of Goodburger, what is your ideal burger?
So I live in LA. Where are you guys located?
So I'm in South Florida, Hollywood/Miami-ish, and
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay. Do you guys have In-N-Out out there? No. It's
well,
like
I've lived a million places and had.
She goes, no, Josh. So I love. I mean, In-N-Out's like a thing out here, right? The lines are insanely long. Everybody comes. It's like a novelty when you come to LA. You got to get In-N-Out. In-N-Out is good. I would argue that being here, I love Shake Shack. Do you guys know what Shake Shack is?
Yep.
Shake Shack. And there's a couple others that like are really, really good, but I think that's my favorite.
It's very good. I'm even into Whataburger if we're going that route.
And that's something we don't have out here. Whataburger's delicious.
Whataburger's like surprisingly good. And let me just tell you, the sauces you can buy in the grocery store in Texas. Like you can buy spicy ketchup. You can buy their poblano pepper
really
cream sauce. Oh, so good.
But not to take anything away from In-N-Out. Sometimes it's just it hits and it hits great. And so I would say those two are my favorite. But I would edge Shake Shack just a smidge. Whataburger is delicious.
It is. So animal style?
Absolutely, 1000%.
Okay.
No tomatoes though. I'm not a tomatoes on burgers kind of guy.
Yes.
Okay. We're learning a lot here.
Like saga that soggies, I don't know. Just
also tomatoes are horrible. So
okay.
I'm not a picky eater, but I've always not really been partial. I don't mind them in like salads. So use certain things, I'll do some tomatoes, but like sandwiches, I'm out.
Can't do it.
Okay.
I'm out.
Okay, we're learning. We are
But
learning.
speaking of Shake Shack, if people have not yet tried, highly recommend. They do a portobello burger, quote unquote, but it is 2 giant portobellos, and then there's a piece of like Gouda or brie. I think it's brie in between the 2 portobellos, and then they deep fry the whole works, and that's the burger. It's insane.
That sounds really good.
It's so
there's some really I'm not full vegetarian or vegan. I eat meat, but there's also some great like vegan options, that are good. That sounds great. Big fan of Gouda. Gouda will heighten any sandwich.
He does not like tomatoes, but he loves Gouda. So
right, those are
I can definitely
those are in my on my resume.
We are kindred spirits.
It's on his rider, folks. Okay, so we were talking about the wonderful Keenan, and I know recently he received his star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You were there.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I got to give a speech. I posted about it. It was such an honor. It's like giving your friend a lifetime achievement award, but who still has so much to achieve. And then literally that week he found out he was hosting the Emmys. It was just a very full circle kind of day. I'm close with everyone on the cast, but Keenan and I have, Danny, I've maintained some relationships, and Keenan's one of them that we're really, really tight, best of friends. And so to see him get celebrated in that way, all his family and his friends, and these are friends, and Keenan runs in very like tight circles, and he's always had the same people around him. So they're like my family as well. And so there was just a lot of, we did the ceremony, and then there was a luncheon afterwards, and there was a lot of love, and my heart was very, very full throughout the rest of the day. So yeah, And he's just the best. He's such a nice dude, and you can tell, and that comes through in all his success because he's so humble about it. And so yeah, it was a big honor to be one of the 3 speakers.
Oh, and it's just so crazy because nowadays I feel like people don't have those lifelong friendships anymore, right? I mean, is that fair to say? But like, you guys have been friends
30 years. We met when I was 14, he was 15. So this coming year will be 30 years. Oh, and again, also just real quick, because people were asking, Cal and I were supposed to do the speech together.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so originally it was me and Cal presenting. Cal had a movie that he booked in, I think in Canada, and they just, because of COVID, they couldn't, like, it was a scheduling thing. So it was really supposed to be me and Cal. It ended up just being me. I know Keenan and Kel like posted, like, so just to be clear, like it was going to be the boys handing him this award. But I just wanted to make sure I stepped up and delivered the goods for just to honor my friend.
That's awesome. Did you pour one out of orange soda for Cal or something?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he was there in spirit, but yeah, with everything.
Oh, we were texting and calling each other and getting kind of prepped for the speech, and he was working, and that's a blessing too, So, and that's why I was so excited to see him on the Emmys, and those guys got to have that reconnect moment shortly thereafter.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Danica's alpha clamped.
She's alpha clamped. She's got spiltus.
So
I actually think these are dying on me. Is that? Hold on, just a second. Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me just.
It's a live show, folks. This is what happens. Technology is adorable. We love it. We'll throw some AirPods in your time capsule.
Can you hear me? Is the audio still coming clear?
It's still happening.
Can you still hear us?
Oh, I hear you guys great. So that was actually a world of audio.
Wait, now we cannot hear you.
Now we cannot. Nope.
I think you just put us inside the AirPod box, and now we're just
currently
talking.
in the box.
Help! We're in Josh's AirPod box. Okay, one second, guys.
Oh.
What is that?
Can you hear me now?
Whoa, there is some crazy mixed up stuff happening here.
This is amazing. What's happening? Oh my gosh. We sound like demons. Josh!
Yeah.
This is amazing, by the way.
What's happening?
What's happening? Josh, here's my suggestion. If you can you hear us? I would sign out and sign back in. That's what I would do if I
That was the coolest thing that's ever happened. Wow.
I think we're being abducted. It sounded like a spirit box. Oh
yeah, that was intense. My face hurts.
Okay, well, once we get him back, we do have a couple more questions, and then we have a game that we're going to play. And since we were talking about burgers and Gouda, I am now extremely hungry.
Oh my
God! So hopefully, I will be in for a burger after.
Nice.
Wait, I don't know whether this is going to happen, but Josh,
Can you hear me now?
Success.
What happened?
That was nuts.
What?
So
that was just some kind of possession or thing.
It sounded straight out of The Exorcist.
Yeah, that was exceptionally demony.
It was insane. I'm gonna have to get my Ouija board out after this and maybe Sage.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm so sorry.
Are you kidding me? That was.
I just tried to. Okay, great. I just tried to switch on to my normal audio and it just went crazy.
Okay. Well, we will try to not keep you too much longer. So
not after that. Not after that.
Well, I don't want your things to die again because what we just experienced was paranormal. I think we
did we tap into a different realm?
I summoned something.
Okay.
You know that thing like the James
What did it sound? What did it sound like?
Literally.
We're not helping the Hollywood demonic like any of those like conspiracy theories that are now. It's gonna go nuts after that. It's gonna go nuts.
Look, as long as we get them
a
talking.
Spirit box. Spirit box. Okay.
Gosh,
we really didn't have that. We didn't really have that much dead air, did we?
There was none because something was speaking to it. I'll play it back for you after the stream, but that was insanity.
Josh might want to check his server. Wow. Well done, Kyle. Well done. We're live. We can edit it. We'll fix it in post.
No.
I was legitimately stressed that that's how this show was gonna end. So we'll see how these things last. How long these things last? Do you guys feel like the iPod, the AirPods, once they've been all like mine are just starting to die. They're fully charged, right? They're just starting to die.
I've heard that is just like a thing that people are experiencing now. It's just like
I think it's an Apple thing. I think it's an Apple thing. Another conspiracy theory gone wild. So sorry, guys.
No, this is amazing. No, thank you. We couldn't have planned this better. No,
honestly, I want to come back because I could hear you the whole time and your faces were like it was like maybe it was a happy accident. It was a happy accident.
Amazing.
Oh, no, it was something special.
We just went into a weird audio place. Oh my goodness.
A weird dimension to be in.
Well,
I never want to come back again. From wherever we just were. It was amazing. So, Danica, why don't you ask one more question? I'll ask one more question.
Let's try to get a couple questions in just so we can we can rebound.
And then we're going to go to our game.
Something that is kind of related
to demonic possession.
We're going to talk about horror movies. So, because you were in Await the Dawn,
yes,
we want to know about that pivot between going from supreme comedy to horror. The big first question is, what was it like working with Dee Wallace? Because, oh my God.
He's amazing. I felt like I learned so much on that set from working with Dee. And like, we had a scene together that was just really, it was just her and I, and you could just see all that experience. It's just like when you're playing with someone at that level, like you elevate your game, and it was really effortless to work with her. And she's an amazing woman, and also just an amazing artist. And she has 200 credits. Like, she's a true horror. She's an icon. She's a scream queen icon, right? Do you have a Dee Wallace tattoo?
I haven't. Just E.T. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I actually, not that it's only going to be horror for me, but I'm also in another horror movie, but it's a horror comedy that will be out on Tubi shortly.
A Killer Service.
No, actually, that movie is going to be in the film festival circuit pretty soon. I actually think that's done. I'm talking about the Final Rose.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah, and that's like I guess the best way to describe that is it's Scream meets the Bachelor.
And that's when can we watch it?
They were just doing ADR for it. I figured it would be soon. I think it's turning around pretty quickly. I don't know of like a release date. And I'm at the end of that movie. I have a fun little scene at the end. But that's also another horror movie. But it's horror comedy. That's more the genre.
That's awesome. So
it's one of my favorite genres, to be perfectly frank.
Horror comedy, yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
So, I mean, Shaun of the Dead, and oh my God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But to answer your question, Danica, like listen, I love comedy. I always want to do it. It's part of who I am and what you know what I mean? I always want to be able to make people laugh. But also when I stream, like, and I watch stuff, like I really like more dramatic stuff. That's what I enjoy as a viewer. So it's really neat to be able to like kind of show that side of my artistry and acting. And like, I just want people to get to know me in that way as well. So it's always really cool. And it's interesting to see how people react knowing me just from like the Nickelodeon louder, faster, funnier world. So it's awesome to stretch those muscles. And because that's the kind of stuff I really like to view, you know?
What are you currently binging? Are you watching anything good?
Oh man, let's see. Just finished Stranger Things. I was a little late to that party. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Listen, I am on season 2. Like,
okay, Danica. Okay,
I know.
Yeah.
I know the name.
Yeah. I love. We love Peaky Blinders. Me and my girlfriend love Peaky Blinders. So we're in the middle of the last season of that. Ozark. I crushed Ozark so quickly when it came out and then waited for the extra episodes. That's one of the best shows to me. Ted Lasso. I'm watching The Great, which is actually a really great show.
Yeah.
That maybe less people know about. It's on Hulu. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. It is so God, she's so good.
Yeah.
And there's so many beautiful people in that show.
And I love period pieces like that. So that's I'm starting to get into the new Game of Thrones, right? House of the Dragon. They're only a couple episodes in, so I'm, jury's still out for me on that one. But that's like I mean that's a lot, He's like, they're like, does he have a job? Does he work? What does he do other than stream television?
We're all on the same page here. Like, let's not all pretend that we're not watching like 15 shows right now.
Right, and you end up like bouncing back and forth, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Ted Lasso, Cobra Kai right now. It's a crazy world we live in.
How's Cobra Kai?
So I will say this.
She sat up in her chair.
So the final episode of this season is the best episode of Cobra Kai that's ever been made. So I really enjoyed it very, very much.
Cool.
And that's my TED Talk. I don't know.
You know what's crazy is now my AirPods are working great, so that all could have been avoided.
No.
I'm glad we did not avoid it because it was a spectacular moment.
I heard the little beep. I heard the little, it's like it was just starting to die on me. I was like, I'm going to be responsible and get this audio going so we don't lose the feed.
No, it was.
And we went into Stranger Things like other dimensionary.
We went to the upside down. And
yes, for sure.
It was amazing.
I just literally turned my.
I should have done that.
I come back, and I've completely rotated my laptop for effect.
I love it. So before
I think we've recovered nicely, guys. Sorry.
I never recover.
I don't know. I will never recover from that.
That's it. Stream's over forever. Before we go into the game, since September means that it's Halloween, do you have a favorite horror franchise?
Right, it starts early.
It's happening.
People are like, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm like, what?
No, Halloween is much more important.
Halloween.
Yeah. So September equals Halloween for you guys?
Yes.
Pretty much so.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wearing my sword earrings, but that's also because I'm taking sword classes.
Yeah, and every day's Halloween for me. Awesome. But
sword classes. Keep us posted on the sword classes.
Yeah, I do stage combat.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And I'm scared. But okay, so do you have a favorite horror franchise is the question.
I would just say, I would say the Halloweens or I mean, Scream's pretty great. It's not my most careful. I gotta be careful what I say. It's not my most watched genre. Like, I know there's real horror aficionados that like know that genre backwards and up and down. So I don't. But there's a couple of great ones. So I would say, what's your favorite?
Ooh. So I would say now it's new, but I'm gonna go with Terrifier. I love Terrifier. They've done such a really good job. The next one comes out. I'm going to see it in a couple weeks. But in terms of like maybe established franchises, I think I'd have to give it to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Ooh.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Wow, this is tough.
Schmanica.
Wow, you are yeah. That is my nickname.
The people want to know.
The people want to know.
What are the? It's hard to think of what they all are. That's the thing. Like I can't keep them all in my head anymore.
Okay.
I've gotten old. Maybe Scream.
Good
Scream
choice.
is always pretty good. I
don't
know if it counts as horror, but
more thriller.
The Cornetto trilogy.
So
it's Shaun of the Dead. Hot
Fuzz, well, you did say horror comedy.
There you go.
That's all-time favorite. I could watch those movies every single day.
Those are great.
I dare you do it. That is
done. Fine.
Done. Okay. So, Josh, we have a game. It is not Figure It Out, unfortunately, but it's a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers. You will not get slimed at the end of this, unless somehow you have something rigged above your head that we don't know about.
Okay, I'm game. Let's go.
So we're going to bring these up, and whatever you pick is correct. And if you want to explain why you picked something, that's great. So here we go.
Dogs are now dogs have entered the chat.
Bring them out. All right, here we go. The first one. Would you rather compete on Nailed It with Keenan or compete on Floor is Lava with Kel?
Oh, man. I think I would do Floor is Lava. That was like that. Hey, buddy, that I'm playing a game right now. So that's our watchdog.
Very important things are happening here.
Yeah. I would go the Floor is Lava.
Great choice. Okay.
Yep.
Woo. All right.
Danica?
Would you rather tell every restaurant that you're Abe Roman, the Sausage King of Chicago, of course, or tell people you are a descendant of Al Capone?
I love Ferris Bueller, Abe Froman, all day. The sausage king of Chicago.
I just heard a really interesting podcast about the actual Sausage King of Chicago and about the death surrounding that. So FYI.
Oh wow. There's a wow. That's
a real one. Like a real Sausage King of Chicago. Like nuts.
Delicious. Okay.
Hey, Blue, we're doing a podcast here. Come here. Do you want to see all the racket is? Come here, buddy. Come here. No. Now he doesn't want to. Now he doesn't want to participate.
Camera shy.
Yeah, now he's camera shy. Let's keep it moving.
Okay. Oh, this one's rough.
Would you rather ride the Red Line train full of people coming from Lollapalooza or be stuck in traffic after the Cubs win the World Series?
It's a lose-lose.
That's a lose-lose. Have you seen the new documentary on
Also, I used to live in Chicago, so yes.
Okay, that's not a Lollapalooza documentary. I think the people know what I'm talking about. Is 99.
Woodstock. Yeah.
The Woodstock 99, insane. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Cubs traffic just because I think it would be more fun because everybody's like, there was never more fun time in Chicago when they won the World Series. I wasn't there. I had friends that were there, but that was such a fun run. So I'm gonna go Cubs traffic.
You're not afraid that your car would be flipped over?
I mean, at that point, right? It's been 100 years. Been 100 years. We finally got one. Flip the damn car.
Yeah. Flip that car. All right.
Flip that car. Right. Exactly. I'm gonna go with Cubs traffic.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. So would you rather own a chain of Earboy and Pizza Face pizza restaurants or open up a pop restaurant based on Goodburger?
They opened up a pop-up restaurant based on Goodburger. That was a real thing in LA. I would listen. I'm going to go Earboy, Pizza Face, pizza chains.
Who wouldn't love
it? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to be the face of that franchise, but I will.
You obviously
I would literally be.
You're certainly the ears of the franchise.
Oh
Okay.
man, those Google images, they'll be there forever.
I love it. I love it.
Maybe the whole entire ass internet needs to go in the time capsule. So those earboy images will go with.
All right. Thanks, Al.
We're going to Web3 where earboy does this.
Aw.
No, I love earboy. I love earboy.
I do too. I do too. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather? Oh, let the new cast of All That choose your next tattoo, or let the OG cast choose your next tattoo?
Oh, I think I'd go with the new cast, because I think the old cast would roast me in that way, like, because we're brother and sister, we've been through a lot, so I think they would be more evil about the tattoos, the OG tats. I think the kids would still be like, he wants, they would still give me, like, stuff that I might want on my body. I think the OG cast would, like, go in. That's just how I feel. That's just like what my gut's telling me. I don't know if I would want any of them to choose my tattoos, but would you rather new kids?
Okay, perfect. And I think this is this the last one?
I think there's more.
Go ahead,
Anyway,
Danica.
would you rather get slimed every time you introduce yourself, or get pied in the face every time you sneeze?
That's terrible. Both of those are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Lose.
Okay, I might go with sneezing just because is there less quantity of that? Like, do you sneeze more, or do you introduce yourself more? Right?
Ooh.
I feel like you could prevent a sneeze if you're really good about it. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to like reverse engineer the less amounts. Okay.
But also, I feel like with slime, you have to just completely remove all clothing, shower, everything. It's like head in the sink. You just wash your face.
Good point. So what we're saying is the pie in the face is more practical. It's more. You can work through that into your day to day. Let's go pie in the face. Jeez.
Danica again with the logic.
Just logic through.
I was trying to get logic based on that, but I think Danica's logic trumps my logic. To be honest.
Way to go. Perfect. Yeah, I think that was the last one. Are there any more? Or is that? Oh, there's one more. Okay. Oh, would you rather have an Olmec alarm clock that wakes you up every day, or have the Midnight Society tell you a ghost story every night before bed?
I think the Olmec thing would be way too terrifying every morning. I don't want to. I want to start my day and be intentional. That is not the way to do it. I think I could have them tell me a ghost story and then, like, find my own peace before bed. I'm gonna go with the Midnight Society. That Olmec alarm clock is, I'm out.
Okay.
You just do like what I do. It's, if I watch something that's like, I watch my true crime stuff or whatever, and then I'm like, all right, I need a palate cleanser, so I'm gonna go back to some Brooklyn Nine-Nine before I go to bed. So
are you a true crimer before bed?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, you do. You need a palate cleanser.
I definitely go Brooklyn Nine-Nine right before bed, because, like, I don't need to be dreaming about serial killers, like, because that is how my brain works. I will immediately dream about anything that I watched the most recently.
Right.
So it's got to be Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, I could talk myself down after the Midnight Society.
Yeah.
Great choice. You got them all right.
AirPods still working.
Oh, well. This has been a journey. This has been so much fun, Josh. Thank you so much. Before we do,
you guys are so cool. I'm so glad I came on. This was super fun.
Thank you. And
we're cool. Did you hear that? Did everybody hear that? Josh server said we're cool.
Danica, we got it.
Can you guys still hear that? I think that's the first question. Can everyone hear that? And number two, I said that. Yeah. Josh server said I was cool.
We're what?
Jeez Louise.
Oh man. Any final thoughts?
He's showing his age. This is a podcast. I'm actually not a baby boomer, but still.
No.
This has been so much fun.
Josh doesn't know how to work technology on the podcast.
Insane.
I think you did great, Josh. I commend you for your technology usage, and yeah.
We brought it back. We brought it back.
We sure did.
Clear. We brought it back to life.
Any final thoughts?
Like I said, I really appreciate you bringing me on. This was so fun, and yeah, wishing you guys the best, continued success, and yeah, this was just awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we do relinquish you back into the world, we're going to go over upcoming guests that we have coming up the rest of this month and October and November's and stuff. Next week, we have Twisted, which is going to be interesting.
And
we'll be talking.
I feel like it's going to be the same tone as my interview.
Absolutely. Just a little more Fago, a little more whoops, and a lot more juggalos. And then we have a special show on Thursday with Tommy James. The following Tuesday, we have Gary Anthony Williams. And then we also have Bruce Valanche coming up, Jason Marsden, Katie Babs, Andrew Volpe. We got a lot of cool people. Josh, we'll have to do this again.
Would love to, guys.
And we'll have to invest in some plug-in earphones for you.
Next time I show up, I'm gonna have like the full mic set up. It's gonna be professional podcasting. I'm going right now. I'm already like on Amazon looking up all the equipment. This has inspired me to start my own podcast and get all the equipment. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because that's what they need. We need another podcast for me.
It's a podcast of demon voices.
The entire time.
Done. Well,
I'm there.
I guess until we meet again, everybody, thank you so much, Josh. And we will see you guys real soon. Be safe, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye.